All right. There we go. Sorry, everybody. Good afternoon. I need to change my slides because we've changed our start time to 3 p.m. Eastern. I'm still kind of juggling both platforms because I'm sending emails and notifications, but we still have a couple people that are coming that are coming into the Discord, and so as such, I'm kind of running them both simultaneously still. So let me get this ready, and I'm going to get the recording started because I still keep that. And okay. Good morning, Sandy. Good afternoon, Phil. You should be seeing the screen. You should be hearing my voice, and we are off and running. Welcome to the Market Watch Group Weekly Market Wrap. My name is Scott. I will be your host. As always, to remind you that we are not brokers. We are not advisors. We don't give advice or recommendation. Our subscription service is for educational and illustrative purposes only. What are we going to do today? We'll analyze today's market, right? We'll look at what today brought us and what does it mean? What do we interpret it as? Take a quick preview at our posture. Is our posture going to stay the same? Is it going to get better? Are we on point? Do we need to make an adjustment? Mindset for trades being carried over the weekend. Good. In fact, I'm thinking, can't see in here. Good. John Welsh, hi to you and welcome out. Your name looks possibly not unfamiliar, but less familiar. And so sometimes I'm not sure if I've said hi for the first time or not. If I have, hi again. If it's not for the first time, welcome out. Good to have you. Great group. Hopefully you're already starting to participate and ask questions in the community because there are a lot of people who are here to help out. I'm thinking today, let's build. So yesterday, and I have to post the recording because it didn't record automatically into Circle. So I'm going to make that. But we had a discussion in the open working session. We had a discussion that resonated. Everyone's like, yes, I like this. What did we do? We took the Analyze tab. We took the Analyze tab from in Thinkorswim, and we basically broke down how to establish a trade with it. In fact, what I did is I went through and I walked through how exactly I got the strike price, what strike price I chose for the was it the KK? No, what trade was it? Now they're all kind of blending in for me here. Let me remind myself, or if someone remembers, what trade did we look at? I'm like, which trade was it? Trade alerts. Sorry, guys. I need to go to my emails, I guess. Fast. That's what it was. It was fast. Someone probably typed it and I just didn't see it. Nope. Fastenal. F-A-S-T. That alert came out, so we walked through. How do we get that strike price? How do I take my stop and my target and my time frame? How do I understand what my risk is and my reward? And yeah, it was good. Yeah, you should take a look. So I'm gonna create a post that highlights that video particularly with a description of what it is, so that it stands out because it did resonate. Now, what I want to say is that's what Tuesdays and Thursdays are for. The working sessions, right? Here we go through this routine. What you'll notice on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I don't have an agenda. My agenda is go to the platform. Let's talk about the market. Let's go through our watch list. Let's find a trade. Right? One of the reasons that we decided to move the starting time up was to give us more time to talk about the market. So my thought for today is, let's build a trade. Now, see, Sandy, unpaid. She says it was awesome. There you go. Okay, here's a game. If you've been keeping an eye on our watch list, which is readily available to you, this beautiful cultivated watch list that we spend so much time curating, I'm going to give you some guesses. Anyone want to take a guess? There were two that I was thinking about, and there's one that I'm leaning towards to build a trade on. Oh, extra points for anyone who throws the right symbol out today. Let me know where you think you saw a signal that you liked. I'm excited to see if anyone has it. A couple of things for today. While I'm waiting for you, I'll keep going. We're going to look at our posture. We'll look at mindset for trades. All the trades look good. Every trade looks good right now. What to look for next week? We'll look at the economic calendar. We'll take a complete look at our whole list. We have a good, strong list right now. Remember that one of the things we did maybe last Tuesday or the Tuesday before is we did our search on every. Oh, Miguel, you son of a gun. Oh, Sandy got it first. Sandy. Amazing. Sandy and Miguel. Points for the secondary position if you want to try. John said, what's the criteria for the watch list? What is the criteria for the watch list? Now, if you look at our criteria for a search, we look for above 2 million shares a day, above the 200, above the 50, which basically means it's uptrending. We look for average volume above 2 million shares, which means it's going to have options, and they should be pretty good options. But what are we looking to do, right? When you run that search alone, there's only about 400 stocks that meet all those criteria, first of all. If you're an options trader, I just don't care about things that don't trade good options. I'm not going to trade a liquid option, so why bother even looking at it? So everything on our list is uptrending because we're bullish. We would have a different list if we had a different posture, right? If I was a 0 or a 1, I might have a bearish watch list and a bullish watch list. And I'd be looking at both things. If I was bearish, I'm not going to sit and fight to have a bullish watch list while I'm bearish on the market, right? Like, come on. So even the way that we got some this morning, Clint said, look at this group of amazing traders. So happy. I'm crying a little tear of joy. Distracted by my joy. What were we saying? The watch list. So everything on the watch list is uptrending because we're bullish. Everything is look at the size and the lead and everything that we have is going to be from, not everything, some things are not, but a good chunk of it's going to be from growth oriented sectors. Our big five, industrials, financials, communication services, technology, and the other one that I didn't list. God, my brain is not working right. What? Industrials. Industrials. That's where everything's from. So it's like we find, so where are those groups coming from? Those groups are coming from our market posture. When we say, hey, what's leading? What are the sectors? Where are where are institutions putting their money? What sectors are they putting their money in? Well, we talked. I love it, Sandy. A little bit of anticipatory, maybe. So those are the sectors. And that's a great question. Okay. Trading plan progress. You should be finished with your analytics now. You should have been doing your record keeping in your analytics, which essentially is make sure you've downloaded the spreadsheets. Make sure if you're just getting going, people say, how far back should I go? Minimum 25 trades. What I find is people will, when they go back 25, they'll be like, oh, I'm going back and doing my entire last year. If you have data, there's a lot of information to be gleaned and learned about what you did, and it can highlight some things. So, as we get to the end of this year, if I was just getting going, I would take all my 2024 and put it in the spreadsheets and be like, what can I learn about myself, about what I did, about, because you can go back and you can be like, okay, isolate the market. Look at the SPY and be like, well, the market did this from here to here. And then look at your trading. Did you do as good or better? Yeah, it's a good, easy way to sort of be like, where are the parts where user error is getting in your way? Did you outperform the market? That's what you should at the very least expect. I think we should double the market, right? Market gets 8. I want 16 minimum. Okay. Missing data for some trades. Got it, Miguel. Understood. Okay, let's get into it. Let's start with the market itself, see how things look, take a peek. And everything looks fine. Everything looks fine. What about from a posture standpoint? We got a volume day here. No, we did get a volume day here as well. Okay, so let's talk about that. Here's our 5 days. No volume day here. Yes. I'm going to score that for the buyers. It started low, ended high. It didn't have a huge advance, but it advanced. And I'm going to say that was the buyers. I'm going to score that for the buyers. The next one, nobody. It didn't advance. It opened, sold all the way down to here, then pushed all the way back, and it finished where it started. Who do I give that to? Nobody. The next day wasn't above average. Or at least not enough. It was like 50,000 shares above average. Not enough. Today, it's not above average. Does it need to be above average for it to keep going higher? No. Look back here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days in a row where it went higher. Not a single one of those days had above average volume. Not one. I don't need that. I don't need volume. Why don't I need volume? Because I have trend. The trend is in place. People are like, oh, is the volume 150%? What are you talking about, 150%? That's breakout volume. I don't even need 150 for breakout. 110, 120 is fine. We call it above average day at 5% on the market because it's the S&P. It's not an individual stock. But what I'm saying is, don't be restrictive. We expect volume to come around when markets are shifting. When we break out from a market that's a 1 or a 2 and turns into a trending market. If we're in a market that's a 4 or a 5, what's going to get it to a 6 and a 7? A breakout. And we saw that last week, right? You can kind of see there was a big old boom, boom, boom. 3 in a row. Breakout volume. Okay. So I think from a trend standpoint, nothing's going to change. This is going to stay the same. Same score as it was. If you need a quick reminder, let's pull it up. Market, nope. That's a different spreadsheet. Here it is. Long-term trend, a solid 1.25. Is it a super strong, like, wow, look how strong that long-term trend is? Nope. It's a good, solid 1.25. It's all it needs to be. Short-term trend, 1.75. That's a good, solid 1.75. Let's dial back to that. That's a nice, solid trend. Is it like this screaming trend? Nope. Nor does it need to be. I just need an uptrend. That's all I need. It's taking longer than expected to fill that in. Got it. Okay. Volume. I think volume is likely to... I think I might give it that tick back when it comes back. So I think I might even see this go back to a 0.5. Major market, unless we saw a real slowdown in the small caps and a surge that we feel is defensive, I don't see either one of these. Nothing happened this week that would make me be like, oh, look at people positioning defensively. Well, I'm open to it. If it comes, it comes. But if not, and then what's the last thing? So as of right now, if anything, I'm forecasting that my score will actually go up another 1/4 point. Here's what's interesting. Remember that last week, the market dropped and we scored the market higher. We scored the market higher. That's tough. And we said, hey, even though the market dropped, we're still fundamentally seeing a stronger market. And what did the market do this week? It found support. started to bounce. Okay, great. If we can get up and through this level here, there's some blue skies. Fantastic. We've got another wave. This is that window that we've been looking for. Is that window still open? Well, yeah, I think it is. Let's go take a look. So here's the other one. I have two. Let me just take a peek in Discord to see if anyone popped over there real fast. I don't think they did. Okay, good. Good. We'll have an official party to celebrate. Discord, putting it down. Okay. One other consideration before we're done with our market posture is the VIX. Now, what are we looking for here? We talked about it this morning a little bit. I was filling in for Glenn, and we said this point. I identified 3 areas for me that I'm kind of keeping an eye on. For what? We had a high, and now what? We dropped all the way down. We took out this low, all the way to this low. So the expectation coming up here is that now we're going to have a lower high. When? When do I know that? It wasn't yesterday. It wasn't the day before. It was all still going up. And now what? My stochastics is turning over. Now, 3 areas. I had this line, which is yesterday's body. Pretty easy. Pretty easy for that. I had this line, which was yesterday. Oh, actually, I could even go to here. Yesterday's low. Or excuse me, the top day's low. And then yesterday's low. That's the most. And you can see it's close to that. But honestly, I'm going to say the one that I'm really focused on is this one. Why? Because that was the top. So when we've convincingly taken that out, it's now a high. A top is now a high. We know that's the high because it's taken out the low. That's great. That's great confirmation. That's this turning into this. That's this turning into this. Right? There's good expectation for a bullish week coming out of that. Is this a crystal ball? No. Is this something we've said we scripted that we're looking for this? And here it is. Very close to this one even. That's the final confirmation. I don't think we'll get there, but it's within 5 clicks as of right now. Yeah? If you remember the conversation that we had. So, let's go through real quickly though and talk about, I want to get to the trade. So I'm going to jump right to it and then we're going to go through the whole watch list. One is here, MasterCard. Like all of them, what am I looking for? I'm looking for the fact that I have an uptrend. New high, new low, that's the pullback. You can see there's the selling cycle. Now we're crossing. Now this is turning. Didn't quite get past these. This is right kind of at that point. So I'm like, maybe it's a little anticipatory still. If I had a little more, I think that's valid. But what do I like even more? Bam. Oh, we've been waiting for you, BLTR. We caught this one. We caught this one. Did we trade this? I don't think we did, because I think maybe we did trade and it went, I can't remember now. So what do I want? Well, you can see the earnings were fantastic, gapped up, big run. Now what? Now we have that little pennant style formation right here. Flag style pennant. Stochastics turning up. Breaking the pennant. Okay. Yes. Let's zoom in and let's start to talk about the logistics of this. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me give myself a little extra space, actually. Okay. That's essentially my entry. So I feel pretty comfortable with a stop right back below these two candles right here, with a little distance. So the low on that one, 63.90, 61.37, or 60.90. So let's go 60.50. It's a little below this low, 60.50 for now. I have room to play with that. That would be about right here. You can see where that line is. Yeah, okay. What if we're right? Do I think I'm going to get this again? No. Do I think I'm going to get more than this again, though? Like if I take this and I say, let's see what this looks like. Do I think I'm going to get more than that? Yeah, I do. I think I have an ability to maybe get a little steeper in line with this. It's not nearly as steep as this. That puts me at about 74, let's say. Okay, now this is where I'm not going to go as slow. We went slow yesterday. The recording will be posted. So let's go into PLTR. And I'm going to go into single options. Why single options, first and foremost? Scott, you say? Why? I don't know. Actually, I might not. Now that I look at this, we may end up in a spread. Let's look at both. But I may end up in a spread. Let's be. If the reward to risk is there, it's easier, especially if you're new. Okay. Let's get Palantir. And we said our target is 74. We said our stop is 60.5. First and foremost, oops, what did I just do? I have no idea. Oh, okay. I'm like, what? It looks different. What did I do? 74 target. 60.50 stop. 10 to the upside, 3.5 to the downside, 3-1. Perfect. That's all I need. 3-1. I'm giving it a good amount of room. Time frame. This is pretty fast, but we're running into next week. We've only got four out of 5 days, and they may get light. I'll tell you what, though. People are like, oh, Thanksgiving, it's a light day. I've seen Thanksgiving go up I've seen Black Friday go up 1.5% on like 30% volume. You know, it doesn't need it. I'll tell you that right now. Let's just go 1 week out. We should know if we're wrong within 1 week. That's still plenty of time for me to trade the Decembers, whether I do a spread or do a long option. I'm gonna start with looking at. I'm gonna look at two of these. I'm gonna go at the money, which is still kind of out of the money, which is the 65s. You can see this has lots of options, 1,000, 4,000, but when you go to the round numbers, 60, there's 20,000 contracts. 65, 23,000 contracts. The 70, 18,000 contracts. So there's always more there. I tend to veer to that level. So the other one I'm going to look at then is the 70, which is out of the money. So it starts out of the money, ends in the money. So let's look at something like that. Okay. Yesterday, we worked off of the assumption that it's a $25,000 account with 2% risk, $500. $500. Why is that important? I need that to say 500. Right now it says almost 2,000. So obviously 10 contracts is way too big. So is 9. So is 8. So is 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. I can get 400 for 2 contracts. I can get 600 for 3 contracts. And that's a problem in and of itself because I'm not even close. I'm 100 on either side. I don't love that at all. Let's go to the next one. So I unchecked this. I checked this. What do I have now? Still too much, but I'm going to dial back. Let's see. How many contracts is the right number of contracts? Oh, looky. 4 contracts, $500 of risk. 500 of risk. Now, I said my reward to risk is about a 3-to-1. I'm getting actually more like 3.6 to 1 here, right? 3.6 to 1. I like that trade. Yeah. My objective when I buy options, this is a quick, easy way to know if the option's too expensive. Whatever your stock reward to risk is, if you maintain it, good enough. If you improve it, your options are actually maybe cheap. But if I have a 3-to-1 and then I run an option and it says that my reward to risk is 2.5 to 1, people are like, oh, it's close. I'm like, no, what? I'm not going to sacrifice. I mean, that 0.5, that's $250. That just means I'm sacrificing reward to trade an option that I now know is overpriced. I'm going to stop because I realize I haven't looked at my question panel for a little while. So hold on. Press says, surprised it has not pulled back to 50 or at least 55. Yeah, I see. I don't think it's going to. That's a flag right there, right? Strong run up or a pennant, at least more of a pennant, but same prospect. Strong run up, sellers barely take a piece and boom. Look at MicroStrategies. That'll give you a taste of when flags start coming, it goes on a parade. Where did I get 3-to-1? Where did I get 3-to-1 on the stock or the option? So I'm going to delete this. I'm going to uncheck this. I'm going to check ask. If I check the ask price, that's saying, hey, I want to buy 100 shares. 100 shares. I'm going to dial this back to 30. I'm going to dial it back to 28. Okay. If I were to buy 28 shares of stock, I would be risking $102, so $100 to make 276. That's the stock reward to risk. The stock reward to risk. If I buy the stock at 64.13, which is its current price, and I stop out at 60.50 and I target at 74, I'm getting 2.75 to 1. Good. That's fine. It's close to 3-to-1. I'd look at that and be like, yeah, okay, I can live with that. Okay? So that's the stock 3-to-1. Now, if I were to make this a stock transaction, I would multiply 28 times 5. That's 140. Okay? So let's make this 140. You're going to see where I'm going to connect all these dots in just a second. Now I'm risking how much? 500 to make how much? 1,400. Same reward to risk, but now I've just scaled it up to my position size of around 500. What is the delta? PJ, sorry. PJ just said, what's the delta? Well, look, the delta of my stock trade, if I were to do it, is 140 because I'd be buying 140 shares. 140 shares. What's the delta of 4 contracts at 205? 131.65. We did it again. I did it yesterday. I showed you how closely those correlate. It's the starting delta. You're thinking ending delta is 300 or 400 for 4 contracts, right? We only right now 4 contracts. This is an out of the money contract. I'm only getting like 30 delta, right? 35 delta a piece. That's okay. I don't need more delta than that. So this is how I know my position is exactly what it's supposed to be. Now, what's the difference here? If I buy the stock, even if I trade it on margin, yeah, it's going to cost like $5,000 or something. But if I do the option, it's going to cost me about $800. 2.68ish. Yeah, about a 271, right? That's what we got. And then what was the objective? Maintain or improve. Maintain or improve. Okay. Questions? So what's the final result? I'm going to do this one right here. I would come in and I would say, hold on. I would say, let's see if we can get it for 203. Yeah? 203. We'll let that percolate. And I'm going to come over here for a second. Bam, 203. Okay? I'm gonna do this. I thought that this would be cool for me to do it live, but for those who aren't here, I gotta still send this thing out real fast. So we're gonna do this together. How exciting is that? I mean, we kind of did all our analytical work already, so we had time for this. Yeah? Live alert. It's so exciting. It's like you're in the workshop. This will be our 4th alert on PLTR. It's one of our favorites to trade, I think. I believe it is my most profitable stock of the year. If I were to look at every position, let me know if you have any sense of that on your side, because yeah, that's been a fun one to trade. We're bullish. And Glenn doesn't like out of the money. I'm going to tell you right now, I have no problem with out of the money. Why? Because I have a plan and I will not deviate from that plan. So when people say things like, if you buy out of the money options, you'll be out of the money. That's ridiculous. You'll not be out of the money option because you bought an out of the money option. You'll be out of the money option because you didn't have a plan for your out of the money option. Now, there's times where I'll actually buy an out of the money option and I will go all or nothing on my position size, which basically means I buy as much as I can afford for my position. And if I lose it all, I lose it all. I was willing to. Right? But here's the thing. People are like, well, my delta is 0.7. Is it? When I buy 2.35s, guess what that equals? 0.35 plus 0.35. That equals 0.7. So I also have a delta of 0.7. Guess who paid more? Not me. That's out of the money options. I told you yesterday, though, are there disadvantages? Of course. This is that no I just lost my train of thought. Sorry about that. Let me see. Let me get to a PLTR. So our entry price, I'm going to say anywhere from 63.35 to 64.35. 63.35 to 64.35. And the stop range. Stop range. I mean, honestly, I think you could go as close as, 60. Let's go 59.50 to 60.50. Okay. Now, primary target, 74. I don't know why it keeps wanting this to be a percentage. I try to change it. It doesn't take for some reason. It's so strange. 74, 60.5. Time and trade. Time and trade. I'll put this at 7 to 10 days. This one moves pretty quickly when we get it. We had the stock at a 2.72, 2.7, 2.68. I'm going to put the stock index as low, but I'm going to say cheap enough to buy. So if you ever wonder, how does Scott get these comments that he puts in? You saw it. We looked at it, and we said, it's cheap enough to buy. we didn't love. We said they could certainly be lower. It could be a lower volatility index, but we ran the numbers. The reward to risk ratio still held up. Cheap enough to buy. Long calls is the strategy. Therefore, December is the month. Sample trade. We're looking at the 100 and nope. We're looking at the 70 strike. You thought I was going to forget, and I almost did, and then I pulled it back. What was the fill price? 203, I believe. Tell me if I'm wrong. 203. $2.03. And risk per contract. Where does that come from? You might want to know. So I can get rid of, I'll just leave this here locked as a sample. Risk per contract is 512 divided by 4. I could have found this. We'll call it 128. I'll call it $1.30. Oh no, sorry. I'm going to call it $130. There it is. Okay, that's the alert. That is the alert right there. Questions? I'm going to go back into the market and we can talk about it. What are your thoughts? Should we add a row for position sizing with the 500? We had that. That's in there. That was already there. Right? This is that row, 500. Now you'll notice this is in green because it's a what if, but I placed it. Once it's placed, it's live. It's no longer green. It's white. That's a live trade there. Got it for 203. Clint filled. Nice. So, right? That row is locked in. Tomorrow, Monday, Wednesday of next week when we come in, our target's here, our stop is here. As this moves this way, hopefully, then we start thinking, let's move our stop, and we start to change the view of our world over here to where it's like, so we're just kind of getting started. Yeah, so I'm going to hurry, and while we're talking, I'm going to multitask, and you're going to see me start putting this information out to everybody who's not fortunate enough to be here live with us, and they'll be like, what? I missed a trade. I'll be like, yeah, you should have been there. You should have been there with us. We all did it together. Oh, I thought I had it. Any other copy? Let me move this out of the way. Any other comments, questions, concerns? Let me know. Is that working? I can't even tell. Something went wrong. Okay. Let me go look at my comments and see. Oh, there it is. Processing, publish. Are you sure? Yes. What time is it? Oh, we have plenty of time. What a great, fun day. That was a great morning, too. Good chat this morning. In the trade alert, position sizing. You're saying you're hoping that we provide position sizing information? That's impossible because that's when it becomes personal, right? And now it's advice. So we can't do that anyways. You're thinking about your risk per contract though. If my risk is $250 and I see risk per contract of 130, I'm thinking, I can do two of those. Boom, there's your position size, right? Like it's there for you to find and just put into your personal formula for position sizing, definitely. Any limit to the number of trades saved? How so? As far as like where we're saving them, you mean? I'm not sure if I got that right. Is it Kelly? I don't want to add any assumptions because people will be like, oh, I should do that number. So yeah, no assumptions. There's risk there, and then you get to take that risk to. Oh yeah, no. In Analyze tab, you could every trade on your watch list. You could go in and start building something on it. Clint, to that point, I'll go in and I'll start building trades well before they show up. And I'll just change my numbers. I'll be like, oh, I thought it was going to be here. It's a little, I've already got most of the trade already thought of, right? Yeah, I love that. Let's get in there and save those trades and make those ready to go. I'm going to try to put this into the other page now. Yeah, position sizing, that's too personal and not something that I flirt with on alerts because I don't want someone to think, oh, well, that's good for me. I'll do that. No, that has to be a calculation they make on an individual basis. No shortcuts. No shortcuts. Let's see if we can get this post in here. So I have unsaved changes. Yeah, okay, I didn't know that, but that's fine. I just want to make a post. Okay. Trade alert 4. If anyone else puts it in and gets filled, definitely let me know. I think I need to get a picture of this real fast. Bear with me for just a second, everyone. The one downside of me doing it live is you see all the things I'm doing to try to get this over to us. Okay. Got it. Boom, published. See if we can't get an email real quick too. Okay, am I missing any chats? Let's get back in. Cisco. Yeah, let's take a quick peek at those. What risk might we be taking with 2 extra time decay? Press, great question, and then I'll go look. Time decay is costing $30 a day, so an extra $60. It's worth taking into consideration. Right? It's most definitely worth taking into consideration. Sorry. Okay, what are some of the recent trades that we have put on? We have put on Fastenal as our most recent. Working fine, making money. Two good profitable days in a row. KKR had a great day yesterday. Still another good day today. Put it on back here, making money. Cisco's running. There's plenty of, all three of those all have, look at your stochastics. They haven't even gotten into the overbought. There's plenty of upside for us to go. All three of those look good. Closed Cisco today. Press said crushed 70% gain. Happy. No problem. of course, you guys know I would always say maybe if we have multiple contracts, let's try to leave one or two of them running for us. Come on, baby, let's go. But there's nothing wrong with taking a nice gain, especially on a Friday. You guys know, on a Friday. I'm with you, Press. I'm just going to be that little angel on the shoulder that's whispering about letting profits run sometimes, just with a contract or two, only one or two. Okay. What time is it? Yeah, those are the three directionals that have been alerts over the past week. Looking good, making money, hitting targets, carrying however you want to go. A lot of ways to go. How's our SPY trade doing? It's beautiful. It's about to go into the weekend. It's doing exactly what we thought and would expect. Let me get to that one. I'm not trying to toot our horn, but we've been throwing it down a little bit recently. Come on. Go to today. So here we are. And you might be thinking, Scott, how is that making money? Well, look. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. At this point on Monday, if this thing just starts to move up here, we're just sitting on $100. And then as it goes a little bit longer, towards the end of the week, now it's up at about $150. And then, so here's the thing: is I can just sit on this. I could sit on this and I could watch it go and then all of a sudden it goes a little too far. You're like, oh, Scott, I went too far. Now what do we do? Now I can put one on over here and I can have one big broad range that it just kind of builds time decay. So this is not like we need to hurry and get in and hurry and get out. Time is on our side. As opposed to every other trade we're looking at, here our theta is positive. Positive theta. We're making money there, right? Okay. While we're talking here, I got to try to get this out before. Nope. I'm going to get it out before the market closes. I'm going to slam this email. You guys are going to be like, Scott, how did you multitask and get that done simultaneously? It's going to be magic. It's going to be magic. Any other trades you guys want to look at before we do run out of the market time? Because if you have one and you're like, should I, shouldn't I? You guys know I love those as considerations. So if you have one that you're willing to share with the group, I'll take a quick peek at it. And if you're like, Scott, are you just saying words right now, stalling as you get that email out? I can neither confirm nor deny. Can you unlock the price? Oh, is SPY not? Oh, there you go. Sorry about that. I think I was off only by a teeny little bit. Let me go back to today. Actually, a little bit more profitable, right? Already at 42, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, we're to there, and it just kind of, we could just sit on this thing, and all of a sudden we'll be a Monday of next week, and we'll be like, let's just unwrap it. Take 200, 250, call it a day. What did you have to do? Nothing. Check my take profit number. On which one? Which one did I not have it right on the trade alert I just put out? Did I have it wrong? Oh, I had it at 60.50. I see that. Damn it. Take profit target. That was supposed to be 67. How did that not get changed? Now I can't change it? What's going on? Is this locked? What did I do to this thing? Okay, I'll make that change. The PLTR, yeah, I can just all of that's not really that important on the entry. I'll just make an addendum to that. That addendum will come out. Thank you for flagging that, Clint. What else? Any other questions, comments, or concerns? Docu, let's look at it. Love it. Love it. It's like my keyboard stopped working or something. There we go. I'm like, what is happening? Oh. For entry or in? For entry, I feel like I'm kind of late. If you're in it, I would carry this through the weekend undoubtedly. Indubitably. Most certainly. Great momentum. You can see we're just barely getting going with this thing. It's just starting to cook. So, Miguel says, how about GDX? I love it. I definitely think if you haven't started taking gains, we will be taking gains next week. But here's GDX. Yeah, I mean, it was a good bounce. You can now see the same concept that we're seeing bullishly. It's kind of showing up bearishly, where this old support is now showing up as new resistance in here. Stochastics kind of turning on you. Volume is drying up right here as it gets higher. I would absolutely be concerned here. Tightening stops, booking some gain before. If I carried, I would carry less. Robin Hood, real fast, she says. That's a tough one because it's like it was a kind of a violent signal to begin with. It was one of those kind of pennant type things, and it busted out. And then it really just kind of didn't get anywhere. This is a tough one, right? Like clearly it has momentum, but as far as trading it, getting in and out, that's tough. I don't see a lot there. I would anyway. Yeah. Yes. Any others? Doc? Yep. Okay. I will put that out with the potential. I have to also adjust the verbiage to potential because it's a potential. It's like an area where if I can get like 2-to-1 at an area that I can take off a contract or two, I will. That's the thought process. So thank you, Clint, for flagging that. I'll put that out in an addendum. Send the email out. I mean, the trade should be valid going into Monday. Oftentimes, like if you just set the alert for the next day, it would get you in at the same place. So I'm not too worried about that at all. Other than that, be aware on Sunday, there is a very good chance that I'm going to be trying the YouTube stream as a feature, and it will just kind of pop out. Be aware. I'm still testing a couple of things as I understand what's the best setups and capabilities for us to leverage this platform. So there it is. I'll see you guys Sunday morning. Have an amazing weekend. Be safe.